I actually went to Mark Hayward, who was doing great stuff, and said, Mark, you're good at this stuff. I'm not an activist. Do you want to take this baby? And he pushed it straight back. And he said, when you start these fights, you're going to be into the end. And I realized that. And he was absolutely right, and I thanked him. I started on a journey then to go and meet with other activists, met with Hugh Glenister, Terry Crawford Brown. I needed to learn because this was foreign space for me. I'd also said to my boss, look, in fact, a year prior to, I'm in the space for change. I've been doing the CEO role for 5 years. I don't believe in hanging around too long. I like to reinvent myself. And then this came along, and I thought, well, let me have this change. Let me take this change. And why I had to, actually, was because it needed full-time attention. You can't sit in board meetings and have the media phoning you. And if you do not make yourself accessible to the media in situations like this, you lose the story. And accessibility to the media is critical to get your story. It's the only marketing space you have. We didn't have the marketing budgets that Sanral had. And social media, answering questions, Facebook, Twitter, and this needed full-time attention. And you can't hand this to somebody else. You can't say to a junior person, if you bring on a half-day type of journalist to handle your media or social media queries, they've got to understand the intricacies. You've got to have the credibility of the argument. And when you become the specialist in that, you've got to be there for that. And so I made the decision to resign, thinking that this will be a great journey for 6 months. Didn't think it would be a lot more than that. Really thought government would come to their senses. And it became a massive story, and it became a massive journey. So we learned a lot as a civil organization that there was this apathy out there. We went begging for money. First to business. Business understood the issue. Most of the business leaders I met in their hearts said, yes, we're right behind you, but when I put my business suit on, I cannot be seen to be supporting anything anti-government, and we got very little money from business. Fortunately, before I resigned as chairman of Savrala, as I said, I convinced our industry to put a few million rand into the case, and that was brilliant because we had the seed funding. But that was chewed up by the end of the interdict. Had the extra court case in the constitutional court, as I said, and then we had the review, and then we had to go. So there were 4 court cases. We had to go and appeal that judgment in the review. So we got slapped these costs, backs against the wall, everybody's running. And I said, we have to go and appeal. If we don't, we've got to go and settle government's 30 million. Our lawyers were knocking on the door by then saying, you're 4 million rand in debt. We were going on radio, appealing to people to fund us, and we were struggling. We were struggling to get society to fund. And our mistake was, we've learned about it, we fixed that now, was that we had this one-off funding. We needed continuous funding, monthly debit order stuff. And with 4 million rand in debt to the lawyers and having to go to appeal, our lawyer said to us, you've got 1 week to put 1 million rand in our bank account, otherwise we can't go to appeal. So we had a quick committee meeting, and I said, we have to go and just say straight to the public, this is your case. We're fighting this on your behalf. If we do not get 1 million rand in our bank account within the next week, we're pulling out. It's as simple as that. It was a threat to society. I knew of no other thing that we could do but do that. And we put it out, called a press conference, or put out a press statement. I don't know whether it was a conference or a press statement. At that time, we'd had a few conferences. But that was it. Put the money in the account, or we're out of here. And it was electioneering time. The DA called and said, well, we can give you 1 million. I said, we'll gladly take 1 million. I'll tell you a little bit about that. But before that happened, we saw the money coming in. It was quite amazing to see 1.8 million rand pour into our coffers within 4 days. So it was brilliant. Then the DA's million came in, and that was, as I said, a few months before the elections. They took the mileage that they could. John Robbie accused me in the morning when Helen Zille made the announcement of, why are we taking money from political parties? So we'll take money from anyone at that stage. He asked me if we'd take money from Al-Qaeda. So just doesn't, that question doesn't beg an answer. But look, it was the difficult question we had to answer, because by then we had got close to Kaisekwale, to Zwelinzima Vavi. We kept the political animal out, and now we led it into our cage. And we had some answering to do, and rightfully so.